All right, guys, this is for you. I know the EOC is approaching fast, and this is one area that we didn't do well on the test when we were doing this, so I thought I'd walk you back through this with the video. We're going from general form of a circle to standard form of a circle. Now, let's begin with the standard form of a circle. The standard form of a circle is x minus h quantity squared plus y minus k quantity squared equals r squared. When you have it in that format, h and k are your center point, okay? And of course, you have to find the radius by taking the square root. All right, so there we are. So now the general form of the circle is this long thing. It's not as bad as y'all make it out to be. First off, how did we get there? Well, what we did is we took the standard form of a circle, we expanded it, we multiplied it out, we put everything on the left side and equal to 0. Okay, now that's how we got it there. But today we are going to convert from general to standard. Now here are some written instruction for you. A needs to be 1, divide if needed, move the x terms together and then the y terms together. Move the constant to the other side, okay? Complete the square as needed for x, complete the square as needed for y. Remember, when you complete the square, you take the b term, divide it by 2, and square it. Make sure you add to both sides, factor the left, and simplify the right. So let's look at an example. Write the standard equation of the circle, state the center and the radius. Remember, when you write it in standard form, you are then able to pull out the center and radius, okay? So here we have 7, and the first thing I'm going to do is subtract 7 to the other side. Boom, done. Second thing is I'm going to complete the square. You grab -8, you divide it by 2 and square it. Well, that gives me 16. So I add 16 to both sides. Don't forget to add the 16 to the right-hand side. You have placed 16 on the left-hand side, and to keep the equation balanced, we have to add it to the right-hand side. Now remember, you have formed a perfect square trinomial. So this is going to factor down to x minus 4 quantity squared. I did nothing with the y squared because I didn't have to. So now we got -7 plus 16 equals 9. Now it's in standard form. So now I can state the center point as 4, 0, take the square root of 9, and gives me the radius as 3. Okay? Got it? Okay, let's look at one more. In this example, we have both x's and y's that we're going to have to deal with. So again, the first thing you want to do is to put your x squared and your 4x together, your y squared minus 6y together, and add 3 to the other side. There we go. Looks good. Now from this point, you're going to complete the square. Grab the b term, which is 4, divide it by 2 and square it, which is 4. So I'm going to add 4 here. Take the -6, divide it by 2 and square it, which is 9. Add 9. On the right-hand side, since I added 4 here and I added 9 here, since I added 3 here and added 4 here and added 9 here, that's what I'm doing to the right-hand side. Clean it up. Now remember, this is a perfect square trinomial. It's going to factor down to a binomial squared. Comes out to be square root of x squared is x, square root of 4 is 2, take the sign. Square root of y squared is y, square root of 9 is 3, take the sign. Now you've got it in standard form. So the center is -2, 3, radius of 4. Now the last example I've got for you is one when the leading coefficient's not 1. But what do you see? All you're going to do is divide each of these terms by 2. When you do that, now we're rocking and rolling. Now we've got it, the leading coefficient of 1. Now what are you going to do? You're going to put your x's together, your y's together, and subtract 10. Then what do? Complete the square. Take your b term, which is -8, divide it by 2 and square it, which is 16. Take your 2, divide it by 2 and square it, which is 1. Add 16 and add 1 to the right-hand side. Now, complete the square, once you've completed the square, You've got that perfect square trinomial. Now we're going to break it down to a binomial square. So we're going to take the square root of x squared and get x. Take that sign, square root of 16 is 4. Plus, take the square root of y squared. Y, take the sign, take the square root of 1. Clean it up on this side, and there it is in standard form. So our circle, our center point, is 4, -1, the square root of 7. And then finally, one to make sure you can go the other way. Now, instead of writing it in standard form, I give it to you in standard form, and I want you to write it in general form. The first thing you do is expand. X minus 4 quantity squared can be written as x minus 4 times x minus 4. Y plus 3 quantity squared can be written as y plus 3 times y plus 3. Now you're going to distribute twice. X times x is x squared. X times -4 is -4x. -4 times x is -4x. -4 times -4 is plus 16. Be careful with your signs. Same with the y's. Y times y is y squared. Y times 3 is 3y. 3 times y is 3y. 3 times 3 is 9. Now we just clean everything up. So we're going to rewrite it with our square terms first. X squared plus y squared. We're going to rewrite it with our simplify -4x and -4x. That's -8x. 3y and 3y is 6y. We're going to subtract the 36 over. And then finally, when we clean it up, you put your x squared terms and your y squared together, your x's and your y's, and then your constant. I hope this helps. Follow this example thoroughly and be ready to practice in class tomorrow.